Yo, what's Gucci party people? It's Isaac from the GTE Event Group, and I want to share my story about how I sent an edible arrangement bouquet to a corporate client to try to get their business. So first, a little backstory, guys. This corporate client I've done business with in the past. They actually sold me one of my cars, and honestly, it was a great experience. I don't know if you guys ever went to a dealership, but most of the time it sucks. But this one was great. So I really wanted to earn their business. Not only did I want their business, but it kind of meant something there. So I sent out a edible bouquet arrangement yesterday morning to follow up on a quote that I sent out to this client. The quote that I sent out, I told them, I said, hey, listen, if you can have the person in charge give me a call, I'd greatly appreciate it, because I sent the quote to someone who was just an information gatherer. Most corporations are going to have someone whose job is just to get the information. They are not the decision maker. If you know anything about sales, you want to get in touch with the decision maker. Anyways, so I send this bouquet, this arrangement out to the decision maker, and on the card I just had them write like, "Hey, listen, thank you for giving me an opportunity to possibly earn your business. When you get a chance, I'd like to go over my quote with you personally. Please give me a call." Well, I didn't get any phone call whatsoever. So I decided to follow up on that bouquet by driving to the dealership myself today. So I went over there, and luckily for me, when I walk in, the person who helped me with my purchase was sitting at the front desk. He's actually the sales manager. So I went in there, told him who I was looking for. He pointed me in the right direction. And when I went over there to speak to this individual, she wasn't there, but she had a gatekeeper. And I felt like when I left my card, it was one of those type of things, don't call us, we'll call you. And because I felt that way, I went back to the sales manager and I asked him for a few minutes of his time. He asked for a couple minutes, and we met in the conference room a couple minutes later. Anyways, we're sitting there and we're talking, right? And as we're talking, I told him who I was and asked him if he remembered me. Not just say yes, but if he actually remembered the transition that we've done. And he did. And I told him, I don't know if you remember, I actually own a DJ company, and he remembered that as well. And I told him, I said, hey, listen, I'm just trying to go after your guys' business. I was told this person is the decision maker, and I was trying to follow up on the quote that I just sent out. And he says, are you the individual who sent the edible bouquet arrangement? And I told him, yes. He goes, I was wondering where that was from. I seen it come through yesterday. She wouldn't let me read the card, but I remember her reading the card, or after reading the card, her saying, he really wants to earn our business, but we already chose someone. So I have the sales manager telling me this. Well, as we're sitting there talking, he was explaining to me how he felt the dealership spent too much money on last year's Christmas party. And as the GM, this whole time I thought he was a sales manager. This is where I find out he's the GM. As a GM, he felt like what they spent last year was way too much money. And because he felt like it was way too much money, he only gave them a strict budget to work within. And that's exactly what they were doing. He then advised me that, Isaac, I would recommend in the future that you send out 2 quotes. And the reason why I can send out 2 quotes, guys, is because of how my company is structured. I really have a tier level when it comes to my DJs. Some of my DJs are super expensive. For the company, I don't even say expensive. Some of my DJs are so phenomenal at what they do, they're worth every single penny. And then I got newer DJs who are trained by my superior DJs, and they're trying to build a reputation for themselves. And those DJs I can normally send out at a fraction of the cost, because they too are trying to build up their own name. He told me, Isaac, you should have sent 2, or possibly in the future. He told me, in the future, I might want to consider sending out 2 agreements. One on the lower side and one on the higher side. And explain the difference between the 2. Say, hey, I can do it at this price, but I would recommend that you go with this price because of here's the reasons why. Anyways, guys, that bouquet of edible arrangements cost me about $87.50. His time and what he told me, priceless. I'm going to take what he told me and use that moving forward as I pursue all corporate clients, because everyone has a reason why they are budgeting a certain amount. In this case, as a GM, if you guys know anything about the car business, the bottom line comes from his commission. And he's okay with spending it. He wants to spend it wisely or get the most for his money. Anyways, guys, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, do me a favor, hit the like button. I'm planning to make a lot more videos like this, so make sure you subscribe. And until the next video, take it easy. I hope you guys have a great holiday season, and I hope this helps you get more customers in the future. Talk to you later. Peace.